one-size-fits-all for almost anything in life. So don't settle for a one-size-fits-all setup. Eliminate the frustration in building with an AI-powered personalized toolkit to boost you forward to victory. Optimize your setup and improve your performance over those cookie-cutter builds used by the rest of the pack. Vantage is iRacing.com's first AI setup builder. Save your time and get back to your personal life. Vantage takes any setup for any track and adjusts it specifically to your needs. Choose from over 100 cars for any paved circuit, a custom-tailored experience that's easy to understand and tested to fit any driver's style. Subscriptions as low as $8.50 per month. And for a limited time, new members get a 7-day free trial with unlimited access to all Vantage has to offer. Let Vspeed Vantage free you of the endless loop of testing and get you back on track to victory lane. Visit orangespeedvantage.ai to get started.
And here comes Milo, big run out of 4. He's going to be there.
Tristan Martin's there. Cannot count out to 37.
Oh!
No, gets burned!
Cabot, where did he come from? Here comes Swag.
A punch from the 33.
It's a drag race.
The Magic Man wins it Auto Club.
Spending 6 years of my life out near Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, there was a track I got to visit several times, nestled deep in the heart of our neighboring state of Ohio, that even 3 minutes from the track, you would not realize it's there. It just looks to be a farm field. And then as you get a little bit closer, this beautiful 13-corner, 2.25-mile track emerges out of all of those fields of grain. And you have the opportunity to see the Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course here, just outside of Lexington, Ohio. Good evening, everybody. My name is Alex Yannon, and alongside Morgan Cook tonight, we are bringing you Overtake iRacing League action here from Mid-Ohio, live on Vspeed. This should be a fun one. One of 3 road courses on the schedule here for the OiL Xfinity Series, and the first one of those after 3 straight weeks of really exciting races on the ovals, Morgan.
Yeah, it's been a good season so far. I'll say that much for sure. And we're going to turn right and left today. It's a little different this time, and this is where we'll see a couple new faces at the front, I would imagine.
Yeah, we certainly will. A lot of drivers ahead of time were talking about potentially seeing some new faces up at the front here. Speaking of faces at the front, let's take a quick look at our point standings as they sit. Tony Iverson currently leads the way over Todd and Kyle Mays, Michael Kostick, and Jim Ott, rounding out your top 5 right now. That being said, though, still a lot of challengers with it still this early in the season.
That's right. Looks like the top 12 here is all separated by less than 20 points. That's about half the field here. So it could go awry or could go great for anybody here today.
Certainly could, but it looks like the cars are beginning to take to the grid here after their qualifying session. A bit of a longer qualifying here at Mid-Ohio than some of our previous tracks, given the length of this course versus some of our previous ones. But with that, let's just take a look here at our starting grid tonight from the Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course. Rolling off on the pole tonight, it is the 30 of Alex Penn with a 128.115. He was one of the drivers that a lot of people were checking off on their list early this morning as the pre-race favorite. Let's see if he can capitalize on this pole position here today. He'll be lining up alongside Blake Hensley in the 31. Row 2, it's the 33 of Brandon Holder making his series debut here tonight, alongside Michael Kostick, our winner from 2 weeks ago. Row 3, it's Jim Ott, back-to-back second-place finishes. Can he put it in victory lane here tonight? We've also got the Atlanta winner, Tony Iverson, rolling off alongside him in 6th. 7th is Michael Nash here in the number 60 alongside Drew Prohl in the 80. And in row 5, it's Cody Anderson in the 42 and Daniel Cunningham in the 08.
Got Justin Ray in the 38 is going to roll off 11th, and Lucas Lyons will start 12th. Matt McKeegan is going to come off in 13th. Kyle Mace made the trip from Pocono last night. He will start 14th. Matt Greenier, hopefully got that one right, starts 15th in the 15. Wes Wiegand in 16th position. Andy Kurtz is going to start 17th, and Craig Schroeder in 18th. Kyle Roberts will start 19th in that 35, and Brett Bieber, going for 4 straight 10th place finishes, will roll off in P20.
Bobby Hall Jr. will roll off in 21st there in the 94, and Todd Mays, after 3 straight top 10s here, will have some work to do tonight, starting in the 22nd position. And that is going to do it for our starting grid. Honestly, that bit that you mentioned there with Brett Bieber, fascinating stuff. Could he get his 10th place finish in a row here tonight? That is a really exciting prospect. I'm sure he'd like to, move a little higher up into the finishing order here. But how often do you see a driver finish in the exact same position 3 races in a row to start a season?
I can only remember it once in the NASCAR Cup Series. I think it was Brad Keselowski had finished 4th place a number of races in a row, but that is all I can remember for that. I've certainly never done it, and consistency is going to win you a lot of things, some points, some championships, if you can carry it on, and best of luck to him tonight.
Honestly, that's one heck of a poll, remembering Brad Keselowski. There was not a chance that I was going to remember that he had all those 4th place finishes in a row. But with the road course here at Mid-Ohio, it presents a really unique opportunity for some of these drivers who may not be the best driver on the ovals, but can really wheel it going left and right. I think there's a couple of drivers in our field here who have this one circled no more than our pole sitter here in the 30 of Alex Penn.
Yeah, if we're talking iRating tonight, which can be a good measure of speed on a type of track, his iRating is quite significant compared to the rest of the field, and he's shown it in practice. He's been lights out, ran the most laps, ran the fastest laps. I would expect this 30 car to be a hard challenger to beat today.
And he'll have the opportunity to defend that from the starting position on the front row. We'll give him the inside run into turn 1, which will be nice. But the pace car here just about to peel off. And we're just about to get going. 40 laps tonight. The stage break at lap 15. It's only 90 miles here from Mid-Ohio. It's going to be a sprint more than a marathon. Barney puts that green flag in the air, and we are racing from the Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course. That was a great move by Blake Hensley to hang with him on the inside through the keyhole. And now going in through 3 into 4 and 5. That 31 still might have the edge trying to go into this right and then left-hander here at the back end of the course.
This is what they call turns 4 and 5 here. It's a tricky little combination, and it leads into the S's. Not a great run out of the corner here by that 30 car, but he's going to set him up for the S's. We'll see if he can make something happen into the final part of this course.
Yeah, the S's here, you might not necessarily be able to pass somebody, but you can lose a lot of time if you don't get a good run. Looks like all 3 of those top cars did in Hensley, Penn, and Holder. Alex Penn right on the back bumper here of the 31 as they make their way back up toward Thunder Valley to complete this first lap. The 30 now maybe looking to the inside of Hensley. Not to be this time by, though, and I do believe the 31 will lead the first lap of this 40-lap race, but the pressure has been turned up already here by Alex Penn right on his back bumper, not letting him get away.
Look a little deeper in the field here. Everyone's single filed out. There are some cars close together, like the 08 and the 80 here. A little gap in front of the 80, but everyone's pretty clean and green here this first lap. Pretty impressive stuff out here on the road course.
Yeah, especially with how everything can get balled up at the keyhole. I was wondering if we were going to see something get a little dicey. But it looked like everyone, at least that we saw, got through it A-OK. And that has led for this opportunity. Now, not only did Penn fly by Hensley when we dropped back to take a look at Drew Prohl there, but now Hensley has the 33 of Daniel Holder on his back bumper, trying to take away the second position here. The 31 under attack here early. A lot of 30s in this top three right now.
Fast 30s tonight. And what do you think that the drivers are thinking right now if you're running 4th, 5th, 6th? Are you saving your stuff? Are you pushing, trying to get up there? We have a stage break, I think lap 15 if I'm not mistaken. Are you pushing hard until then? Are you saving your stuff? What's your thought here?
It is really tough because we were hearing before the race the fuel window may just be around the extent of the second half of this race where the stage is placed. So you might be able to make it on fuel if you come down during the stage. You also might not, and if you're confident that you're not going to make it in that second stint, you almost wonder if you pit early, try and get track position at the stage, and then come down pit road at a later point or hope for a caution. Either way, though, already I think the minds of these drivers are really going to be thinking about how they want to position themselves for the end of this race, because there's not a really clear-cut answer here with this being a 40-lap race with the stage at lap 15, given that your fuel window is just at the extent of what that stint would be after the stage.
Yeah, it'd be a lot like that Pocono race last night in the Truck Series where there were strategies all over the place, and it really didn't. We really weren't sure what was going to work out until we had that final caution. Go back and watch that race if you didn't. It was a great show last night. But yeah, I love these strategy races, these road course races, because you never know what strategy is going to work until you get to right at the end of the race and everything kind of shakes out. So I'm excited to be on the edge of my seat all night watching this one.
Yeah, and already we're getting some good action here. Drew Prohl currently scored in the 8th position, trying to hold off Daniel Cunningham in the 08 back there. Gets a little bit of separation here through the back part of the course. Now making their way through Thunder Valley, that gap opening up between Prohl and Cunningham, as the 80 is not really going to be able to try and chase down the 60 with Michael Nash anytime soon. Right now, a lot of those eyes have got to be looking up into the mirror, just trying to keep the 08 behind them, because right now the gap between him and 7th, about 2.5 seconds. The gap behind, though, only half a second.
Yeah, you can tell by looking at this track from above, and we'll see if we can give you that shot right now. Let's have a look at the blimp camera. You can kind of see where drivers are struggling. Like this 80, struggling a little bit compared to the 60, and they're all bottled up behind him, as you'll see if we when we go through the keyhole here. And you can tell who the fast guys are. He missed the corner there a little bit. Good recovery. He might get to the outside of the 08 here, but you can tell who's struggling, tell who's doing, running well based on the gap to the car in front and the gap to the car behind. It sounds obvious, but road courses, it really shows when you run single file so much.
Yeah, it really kind of just heightens all of that. Now we get into turns 4 and 5. Cunningham's got the ideal position from 4, but Prohl will get the opportunity to be on the inside here through turn 5. Gets a little bit checked up on his release. Lucas Lyons nearly plunged into the back of both of them. You've also got the 42 of Cody Anderson into the mix here. So while Prohl and Cunningham are duking it out here for 8th, they've got 9th, 10th, and 11th all knocking on the door here. Right now Cunningham back to the inside, trying to take the position away. Not an easy pass for the 08 right now. The 80 putting up a very staunch defense after he overshot the keyhole a little bit. Has to back out a little bit here, though. And now he'll also lose out to Lucas Lyons, so that nearly full lap battle between the 08 and the 80 goes the way of Daniel Cunningham. He'll take over 8th. Lucas Lyons will jump up into 9th as well. Drew Prohl will have to settle in for 10th right now, but he wants to be getting back up there since he's in this huge chain of cars right now.
And that's the beauty of Mid-Ohio. They ran side by side for a full lap, and nobody had to do anything crazy. They just had enough room, and they were able to get off the corners in the right way that they stay side by side that whole lap. So that was really impressive stuff. Good clean driving by these guys in this Xfinity Series, and excited to watch a whole lot more of it.
Yeah, that's been a hallmark of the OiL Xfinity Series for the opening few races have been really, really nice racecraft. We saw a lot, especially at Michigan and Gateway. Those races went nearly bell-to-bell green. And then, you had Atlanta to kick off the season, which even by like a restrictor plate standard was a pretty clean race, all things considered. But now looking a little deeper into the field here, we're on board with the 38 of Justin Ray, currently scored in the 12th position, and he is thoroughly in the middle of all of these cars right now. He's got 3 or 4 cars directly out his windshield, another 2 or 3 directly in his mirror.
Yeah, this is where you got to hit all your marks and don't do anything too crazy. You can lose a lot more right now than you can gain. Just pressure the guys in front of you, stay with them. You can see the cars are getting a little hard to handle. There's a couple loose cars here and there. And all you got to do is just keep it on the black, and you should be okay for a little while.
Yeah, absolutely. Now you got the 55 maybe taking a look to the inside of Ray. Not able to get the job done there, but Kyle Mace, one of our top guys in the point standings right now, he was knocking on the door there of Justin Ray for a moment. We'll have to dial it back and maybe try to set something up going toward the keyhole here. But right now, he's a man on a mission. 3 straight top 10s to open the season. Not in position right now to make it 4 in a row. He's got some work to do.
He's going to try the elusive outside pass in the keyhole. That's going to be a tough one to make work. He's going to stay alongside, it looks like. Really good run out of that corner. 38 did clear him. But maybe you can try again here in turn 4 and 5.
Here we go into the corner. You got Cody Anderson also getting around Drew Prohl there just in front of this battle. Now Mays to the outside here of Justin Ray, trying to go the long way around. This has also let last week's winner Andy Kurtz into the picture as well. Now here goes the 55 to the inside. They make a bit of contact. Mays able to keep it collected, but he's going to lose out several positions there, falling in behind the 41 of Matt McMeekin. The 55 of Kyle Mays went for the pass, and unfortunately for him, did not pay off.
I think they call that the vortex of danger, if I'm not mistaken. That area between your car and the inside curb where another driver could stick their nose in before the apex and get you out of shape. And that's kind of what happened there. Luckily for everyone, we're all able to point it in the right direction. But it happens on road racing. A lot of guys aren't used to having to defend corners quite that hard. You don't get that at a Martinsville. And it just, sometimes it happens that way. But good save by everyone, and on we go.
On we go indeed, on to lap number 7 here. Your leader currently, our pole sitter Alex Penn. He was able to take the lead back from Blake Hensley on the second lap of this race, has not looked back since. You have to go almost 2.5 seconds back to find second place Blake Hensley at the moment, who's currently holding off a challenge from the 33 of Daniel Holder. And then it's Michael Kostick and Jim Ott rounding out the top 5. You actually got a couple of really interesting names there in 4th through 6th. You've got Kostick and Iverson in 4th and 6th, who have both won a race this season. And then in 5th right now, Jim Ott, back-to-back second-place finishes. So even though this is the road course, we're seeing a couple of familiar names working their way to the front there, Morgan.
I don't know if these guys would call themselves road course racers or road course ringers, but they're sure showing that they have a lot of skill behind the wheel if they're a ringer or not. Running top 5, and they've gapped pretty well on the rest of the field here, this top 5. This really solid driving here, this Xfinity Series.
Yeah, I'm noticing the big gap right now is between Michael Nash and Daniel Cunningham there, 7th and 8th. Near 7-second gap there. So the front 7 separated by 10 seconds. It's almost another 10 seconds to the rest of the top 10. So it is very clear here where people are gaining and losing time on this track. Is looking on track right now. The 24 of Tony Iverson knocking on the door of the 4 of Jim Ott. Looking to the inside here is the 24. Can Iverson take the spot away in the keyhole? They nearly make contact coming out of the corner exit. Now Iverson trying to get that inside position through turn 3 into turn 4. And here comes Michael Nash as well onto the scene. Jim Ott might lose out to 2 people here.
Looks like Nash is going to think better of it in that 60 car. He just and 24 is off the racetrack.
Tony Iverson loses it there going into turn 4. He actually had made the pass on Jim Ott. It was a really daring move through the keyhole, was able to get the job done through turn 3. Was not able to stick the landing though going into turn 4. He'll fall back to the 7th position, and now that will leave Michael Nash alone to challenge Jim Ott in the 4.
Yeah, it happens all the time. When you make a pass in one corner, you think, oh, this is awesome. Now I can start pulling away, and you miss your mark ever so slightly into the next set, and all of a sudden they all pass you right back, and you feel a little silly, but you get back on the horse and you just keep on riding, and that's what 24 is going to do, and he'll be back up here in not too terribly long, I wouldn't think.
Yeah, he doesn't really have much of another choice other than to get back on it. The stage is not until lap 15, so I can't imagine that did too much to his car structurally. May have put a little bit of dirt on the tires that he doesn't want, but he'll have to muscle it out for another 6 laps before the stage break here. And with that time, you do have to wonder if anyone's going to be daring enough to try and undercut the stage break here at lap 15. Will anyone come down around lap 12, lap 13, trying to get fuel and tires to get track position on the restart? Not entirely sure if that'll be the move, but something we'll keep an eye on here up in the Vspeed booth as this progresses. Right now, though, keeping an eye on this battle between second and third. Daniel Holder has gotten to the back bumper of Blake Hensley once again. This is the battle for second here. Hensley in the red, white, and blue 31, Holder in that black and blue number 33.
They're going here through, I think they just finished the S's. I'm not terribly familiar with this track, so correct me if I get that wrong, but they're going into the final corner complex here, and 33 car is able to stick with Hensley pretty well. See if he can force a mistake, because I don't know if he's going to be able to get up there and pass him. You'd probably have to move it, not move, you have to make this 31 make a mistake. Don't want to move anyone here tonight.
Blake Hensley has had a very interesting start to the season here. He's had speed in each of the first 3 races that we've run, but for one reason or another, the finishes have not been there for the driver of the number 31 machine, most notably last week when him and Michael Kostick were battling inside the top 5, and then that contact off of turn 2, destroying both of those cars effectively. So even though he's run up in the top 5 in each of the 3 races we've had before Mid-Ohio here, his best finish on the season is only 18th. So you know he is just craving an opportunity to finally get a good finish on the board here. And right now, taking care of business in the second position, running away from Daniel Holder.
And move a little farther back here, we have Lyons and Cunningham. This is just a pass for the 8th position by Lyons, and he's driving away ever so slightly from that 08 car. Moves himself into the 8th position. He's got about 3 seconds behind Iverson in the 24.
Yeah, pretty big gap there, even with Iverson's little spin there in turn 4 a few laps ago. Still a pretty healthy gap between the 24 and the 48 of Lucas Lyons. As Lucas Lyons might not be done yet just with Daniel Cunningham. That 08 starting to creep back into the picture here. That Toyota Supra not trying to go away just yet. Trying to hang on to the back bumper here of the 48, going through Thunder Valley, back up toward the entrance to pit lane. Not sure if he'll have anything to try and make a move through the next couple corners, but certainly trying to stay with the 48 here, and it's pulling them both a little closer to the 24 Tony Iverson ahead of them.
That's what you got to do. You just got to put corners together, lap after lap after lap. Don't make mistakes. Don't beat yourself. These road course races, often it's just you versus the racetrack, and wherever you shake out, you shake out. And if you take your mindset away from that, you end up sliding off track like the 24 did a few laps ago. So let's just let's watch this 48 car go around this racetrack. Let's do a little gyro cam. How's that sound?
That sounds like an absolutely great idea. Jumping on board here. We are on board with the 08 of Daniel Cunningham, staring at the back bumper of the 48 of Lucas Lyons. Let's take a look here from inside the cockpit to see what Daniel Cunningham's seeing here on his quest to reclaim 8th place.
A lot of time gaining that braking zone right there.
And this is the big part here that I don't think people realize about Mid-Ohio is you kind of go up through the that section of the course coming off of turn 5. It's much more hilly than people give it credit for. And then you get in toward the S's here, and it's the same deal. You know, trying to swing back around over here. It is not a whole lot of just easily visible track until you hit Thunder Valley here, and then you can see quite a lot of it going downhill. But then it's another uphill climb with some blind corners here, making your way back toward pit road.
And you can almost feel and hear how light this car is on the rear tires. Like every time he touches the throttle, you hear those tires squeal a little bit, and it's really difficult, like driving on eggshells, to try and not loop this thing every time you mash on the pedal.
Yeah, that being said, though, Daniel Cunningham doing a really nice job right now behind the wheel, not letting Lucas Lyons get away. They both ran a really clean lap that time. We saw a couple of corners where the 08 pulled right up to the back bumper of the 48. Just wasn't able to get the release that he was looking for. It does seem like the 08's a little more ambitious going into these high braking zones, like the entrance to the keyhole and the entrance to turn 4 here coming up at the end of this backstretch.
Yeah, it seems like the 08, like you said, drives deeper into the corner, maybe suffers a little bit corner off, while the 48 is a little bit more gingerly into the corner, but gets a really nice run off the corner, which, depending on where you're at, if you're coming out of the keyhole, you want to be the 48. If you're in the S's, you want to be the 08. So it's just depends on where you're at and who's stronger where.
Yeah, it's really just a big game of how can you maximize your benefits and minimize the deficits that you have out on track here. And right now, the 08 is winning the battle entering the corner, but the 48 is winning the battle coming off of the corner. And that is how these two have stayed relatively lockstep over the past couple laps. And also, just keeping an eye back there, the 42 of Cody Anderson has slowly crept into the scene as well, basically making this a 3-car battle for 8th here. Is now the 42, about the same distance from Cunningham as he is from Lyons.
And for those who are wondering how this Ott-Nash battle is, it's still going. They're still making it happen 3 laps later. They have not changed anything there. They're still sitting about 2 seconds ahead of Iverson in the 24. You can see him in the picture there. Then you can see the battle we were just watching, not terribly far behind them.
Yeah, a couple of battles on track here in the top 10. This is the one that I would say is highest up in the field right now, since Hensley's half a second clear of Holder. Cannot say the same for Jim Ott, though, over Michael Nash right now. The 60 has been hounding at his back bumper the past several laps, looking to take away that 5th position here before we get to the end of the stage. Might be able to do it here. He almost had a look to the outside, maybe trying to do a little switchback action here on the number 4. Trying to get to that outside, though. Ott closes the door on Nash once again, and here they come toward the back part of this course. The 4 leads by a car length and a half over the 60 right now. Will he be able to maintain that speed, though, going back up toward the front stretch? Let's find out right here. Looks like he got a slightly better run off, but Michael Nash not going away just yet.
It looks like the 4 takes a really high entry into these corners. I'm not sure if that's just so we can get the car rotated and drive off the corner, but it opens up the inside quite a bit for the 60 car. And you see it a lot in the keyhole, so let's see if we can catch that when we go by the keyhole here next time.
So here they go into turn 1. Ott leading Nash by about 2 car lengths here as they charge out of the corner and make their way up toward the keyhole. It's about a 50-60 foot incline here, that gap between turn 1 and turn 2. It's a lot of uphill that people don't realize. But yeah, Ott kind of swings it out a little wider there through the keyhole. Nash looks like he was closing in toward the middle of the corner, but not able to get the same run off that Jim Ott did there coming off of turn 2. And as they make their way through 3 into turn 4, he's going to be able to maintain that gap that he's been able to have for about the past lap or so. He only has to hold on for about another lap and a half or so, and they'll be able to hit the stage brake, bring it down for fuel and tires, and an opportunity to kind of take a quick mental break here from the assault that the 60 has him under right now.
We've got a pretty good battle brewing here for second. Holder has not left Hensley alone this whole stint, and a little off track there for the 33. He's pushing pretty hard, but I imagine this last lap will not be any different than the previous 14 with these two nose to tail.
Yeah, here we go, lap 15, the final lap of the opening stage of this race. Once the leader takes the line here next time by, they will likely throw the stage caution here. So this is going to be a pretty critical battle here for Holder to see if he can finally get around Hensley, get those extra couple of points in the standings. With this being his first race of the season, as Hensley really overshot the keyhole here. Here comes the 33. This could be the opportunity, and the caution is out. I wonder if they've thrown the stage caution now. I guess they have. Maybe they weren't waiting to complete lap 15. They were just waiting to hit it.
That could be. I don't see anybody on my timing and scoring who is losing tons of time, so my assumption is that Alex Penn has just won the stage. Congratulations to the 30. He went out and I almost forgot he was here because he was so far ahead of the field. We'll see how it goes in the back half of this race, but good racing all the way throughout at Mid-Ohio.
Yeah, a very entertaining opening stint to this race. The 30 of Alex Penn, our pole sitter. The only lap he didn't lead was the first one, but led the back 14 to pick up the stage victory and the playoff point that comes with it. The rest of the top 10 for this stage, Blake Hensley, Daniel Holder, Michael Kostick, Jim Ott, your top 5, with Michael Nash, Tony Iverson, Lucas Lyons, the Cunningham machine of Daniel Cunningham in the 08, and the 42 of Cody Anderson rounding out the top 10. I got this close to saying DJ Cunningham, and I'm like, I know that's not right.
Close, but no cigar.
Yeah, so Daniel Cunningham was 9th, 10th, Cody Anderson. But that is the opening stage here from Mid-Ohio, and if the back half of the stage is anything like this front half, I think we're going to be in for a real treat on the ending bit of this race. We'll have to see if anyone's going to have something here for the 30 of Alex Penn, though. He checked out from the rest of the field.
And you're going to have to beat him off pit road, or you're going to have to do something different, get him off his rhythm, do something, because if he's able to see clean track in front of him, he's just going to drive away. He showed it there, and I really feel like Hensley and Holder are the same way. If they get any kind of clean air, I imagine they will just wheel away from the rest of this field. So this top 3 is really showed that they're the class of the field, and we'll see what they can do after pit stops.
Yeah, so a nice long pace lap here at Mid-Ohio, giving everyone a chance to regroup. Needed for most of these cars in the field here. They had a lot of track they needed to make up to get back to the lead group here. So we're going into turn 4, and we're only seeing about half the field still. And only one car no longer on the lead lap. That was the 35 of Roberts. Everyone else, though, on the lead lap here on this about minute-and-a-half lap track. Although some of those cars had fallen back as far as 40, 50 seconds. So there is a possibility we could see maybe a couple cars lapped here in that closing stint if the pace that we've seen through the opening 15 transpires to the back 25. So just about time to come down pit road here. Alex Penn is going to lead the troops down pit road, if you will. I got to imagine just about everyone's coming down pit road. They were saying the fuel window at the start of this race was somewhere between 21 to 24 laps, give or take a little bit. So just about everyone's going to need fuel, and when you're coming down for fuel, you may as well put 4 fresh tires on there as well. Here they come into pit road now, the 30 leading the way through this little twisty bit, and then popping out onto pit road here. And Mid-Ohio's pit lane, very interesting with that big hill they've got right in the middle of it.
Yeah, one of those ones where you really don't want to run out of fuel. So just roll all the way back down the hill. So hopefully everyone gets their fuel calculations correct, or it'll be a painful trip to pit road. And yeah, I don't know if you can hear that on the stream, but there's that wee-oo, wee-oo, wee-oo sound. It took me a long time to realize what that was. That is there's somebody on pit road sign. Oh, there's 3 cars.
Whoa, the 33
Oh
launching through the grass trying to take away the position. Alex Penn actually loses out 2 positions on pit road. I think Blake Hensley won the race off of pit road, but that feels like we need a replay to take a closer look because the 33 just materialized at the end of pit road there.
Well, let's have a look here. Missed it by a couple seconds. Let's do another one.
Taking a second look here.
Here they're getting the final set of tires here. There goes the 33, there goes the 31, and then they all appear. I feel like the 33 got that, but I could be mistaken. That was a interesting shot on the exit of that corner, or exit of pit road, that's for sure.
They definitely told Daniel Holder, it doesn't matter what you do, just win the race off of pit road, as he does. It looks like they will give the lead to the 33 here. I think Hensley's contention may have been that you know, he kind of drove through the cone on the end of pit road.
Right.
He wasn't really trying to make pavement. He was just trying to win the race, but looks like he was able to do so. And we saw the 33 had the speed to get up to the back bumper of Hensley all throughout that first stint. Maybe the clean air could help pull him away from the 31 a little bit, or will Blake Hensley be able to return the favor and hound his back bumper for a change?
Yeah, we'll have to see if we go 1 to green here this time, but this seems like a ripe time for a commercial break. See what the pace car does here. I don't want to take away any of the action coming to the restart. See if they double up here or not. Pace car lights are still on, and we are doubling
And now
up.
they're not.
They are not on anymore. You can ride through this lap.
Which means they will be going back to green next time by when they hit lap 19. Which means 22 laps to the end. They were saying the fuel window anywhere from 21 to 24 laps, depending on how you were driving it. We could potentially see a couple of cars in a little bit of fuel trouble at the end of this one, if it stays green to the end. Or maybe they'll have just enough. Who's to say? We'll only have to be able to find out once we get to the conclusion of this race.
That's right. I imagine the strategy here for the 33, 31, 30, those guys who went out and drove away from the field, is that you get your lead in your first 10 laps or so, and then you just let it ride. And you just back the corner up, take it easy, save some fuel, and make it to the end, because you're right on the number, right on the edge. You should be able to do that if you just save your stuff.
In theory, it is a very easily possible thing. In reality, might be a little bit trickier. The benefit that these guys have in the virtual NASCAR Xfinity cars versus the real ones, they have a bit of a calculator in the car telling them exactly how many laps of fuel they've got left. So the drivers down there on track will know exactly how much fuel that they have to work with here. So I think they'll have a better idea and will likely be able to make it to the end. But there could be some issues as it goes on. But about half a lap of pacing to go here at the back end of this course. When we go green, it'll be Holder on the inside with Hensley on his outside, Alex Penn and Michael Kostick row 2. Tony Iverson back there, the inside of row 3 alongside Michael Nash. Should be a fun one. Oh, sorry, that's Lucas Lyons alongside Michael Nash. And then you've got Tony Iverson back there in row 4. But either way, should be an interesting battle. Can Holder hold on to the lead here from the inside of row 1? Can Alex Penn get back up there? What does Blake Hensley have for the mix? Here we go. Green flag back in the air at Mid-Ohio for the second time here today. Hensley's going to look to take it around the outside here. Alex Penn lost out to Lucas Lyons. The battle is on for the lead and for third. Holder there on the inside. Hensley on his outside. Penn and Lyons side by side for third. But back up front, the 31's got a nose. He was really good on the opening restart. He's able to take the lead away again from second place here on the restart after the stage break. But this time, can he hold on to it? He was able to defend against Daniel Holder earlier. He'll need to do it again for 22 laps if he wants to win this race.
That is going to be one tall task here. Got cars sliding all over the place in the back. That was the 30 car, a little out of shape. They all settle back in line, and that top 3 is nose to tail.
That trio of cars in the 30s, the 31, 33, and 30. A different running order than they had in the first stage of this race, but it's still the same 3 cars in the top 3 positions. They have had the speed all night, but this time, though, with the clean air, it's going to be the 31 of Blake Hensley. He'll come around the final corner to lead his second lap of the night. The question is, will he be able to lead more? He has Daniel Holder on his back bumper, who was really aggressive coming off of pit road there. I got to imagine if he remains in striking distance as the laps tick away, we can start seeing some more and more aggressive moves from the 33. But unlike the oval side there, Morgan, aggressive moves here have a bigger risk to reward than they would on the oval side, because if you miss your corner, you could be out of luck.
Yeah, in oval stuff, you're worried about losing positions, because if you make a mistake, you'll have 2-3 cars go by you, and that's too bad, I'll go back and chase them down. On a road course, you're losing time, not really positions. You get strung out pretty far, but once you lose time, you don't have cautions other than our stage break typically to get everything back jumbled up together. So once you lose it, unless you're really fast and can gain it back, it's gone. And you have to kind of live with that situation. You got to play that risk-reward game all the time. Is this move worth it? Is this half a second worth it versus the 40 seconds I could lose on the back end if I spin out?
Yeah, and that is the risk reward that, while not active on these drivers' minds, certainly in the passive, more tucked away part of their brain, knowing that that is a danger that looms here around any of the 13 corners here at the Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course. Right now, taking a look at the 60 of Michael Nash, currently scored in the 6th position. He has got a whole lot of the back bumper of the 8 and Michael Kostick directly in front of him. And he's also got a lot of that black and green number 42 from Cody Anderson in his mirror. Coming around turn 1 here is Nash, trying to chase down Michael Kostick as they go into the keyhole turn. Already, after a couple of laps, this field very much strung out single file, as it tends to be on these road courses. You pass when the opportunity presents itself, but it does not lend itself to a ton of side-by-side racing just with the way everyone attacks these corners. Looks like the 60 is going to fall back a little bit here, but that's more because the 8 of Michael Kostick has closed in to the 48 of Lucas Lyons, trying to take away the 4th position here as they go through turns 4 and 5.
It's hard to chase them when they disappear. There's the 48.
Yeah.
Any little sideways, too.
He's
Lyons
blinking, he's sliding.
He's
Lucas
driving it for all
Lyons
it's
is doing
worth.
everything but remaining visible on track right now.
It's so hard when you're that second car to follow someone who's having connection issues and blinking in and out, because you don't want to just keep doing what you're doing. Because if you drive into them and they appear, you'll crash. But that's what you're trained to do, is to just drive your race normally, and if they appear in front of you, it's on them, not on you, and you just got to hope for the best in that situation. And the 48 looks like connection stabilized, and he's pulled off here. Some sort of issue.
I wonder if just to try and get out of the way of the 8, knowing he had those connectivity issues, he's trying to give him a bit of room. Which, if that was the case, would be a really nice move. Either that, or he just completely whiffed the final corner and just figured it'd be easier to slide in behind him. Either way, Michael Kostick moving up into the 4th position. Michael Nash diving in on the keyhole here. He'll take away 5th. Gutsy move there from the 60, but he'll move into the top 5 with that pass going into turn 2.
I think that Lyons has lost his rhythm a little bit. I think he moved out of the way, out of the last corner to let Kostick by. And then Michael Nash did that dive bomb into the keyhole. And now I think the 48's a little out of his rhythm, and hopefully he can get it back here quickly, because there's a lot of cars lined up behind him.
That there is, and that list just keeps expanding. Here comes the 42 of Cody Anderson, the 24 of Tony Iverson, not too far behind as well. So it's about to go from bad to worse here for the 48 if he loses any more positions. A couple laps ago, he was up in 4th, now in 6th, maybe going to be 7th, as the 60 of Michael Nash got really loose going into Thunder Valley. That let Lyons get right back onto his back bumper. And here comes Cody Anderson as well. We're getting a great onboard shot here as he's about to take a look here in this final corner. Can he make the pass on Lyons here? He looked to his inside going through there. Now back onto the front stretch. The pass not going to come this time by, but he's got a really good run going into turn 1. Maybe looking to his inside again. Nope, we'll slide back in. He's just trying to find a way to set him up in this corner, or any of these corners really. Has not been able to find the move that's going to work just yet, though.
Side-by-side battle back here. That's Jim Ott in the 4 and Justin Ray in the 38. Ott's going to take that spot away. We were talking about him as a top 5 car. I don't know what happened to him on the restart or pit stop or whatever have you, but he's back down to the 13th position. Let's see, where did the 4 car start the day here? started in 5th, back to 13th position. He'll be hoping to work his way back up to the field.
Yeah, easier said than done at the moment. If he was to get back up to where he started this race, he'd need to make up nearly 8 seconds on track right now. So he's got 17 laps to do it, but a whole lot of ground and a number of cars he'll still need to pass if he's going to make that happen. Starting with Kyle Mays in the 55, who's about 4 seconds ahead of him right now. Maybe make it 5 seconds. So a huge gap between the two as we jump forward a little farther in the field. Last week's winner from Gateway, Andy Kurtz, has finally presented himself inside the top 10 after qualifying near the back of this field in 17th. So up 7 positions here, the number 5, looking to take away a couple more as he's staring down the back bumper of Daniel Cunningham.
This is a championship type of race. You know, you had a bad start, and now you're just slowly working your way up to the field. That's how you grind through these seasons. Good slide, good save there off of the turn 1. But that's what you have to do if you're going to run for a championship. It's just going to have to be grinding and working your way through. Pass here, it looks like. Peek to the inside, the 08 on the 24. But that's how you do well in championships, is you just grind through when the days are bad, you just make them into decent days. When the days are good, you capitalize like the 5's been able to do so far this season.
Yeah, he's having a pretty good run so far. Tough break back in Atlanta for Andy Kurtz, finishing 19th in one of the wrecks. But then a 4th place finish at Michigan, and then the win last week at Gateway. So right now, stringing together a couple of really strong results is that number 5. He's not the only one, though, who's been having a string of good races, though. We have several cars who have finished each of the first 3 races inside the top 10. One of those cars who has a lot of work to do if he wants to keep that streak going right now is the 32 of Brett Bieber. He's up to 18th, which is higher than where he started, but if he's going to get that 4th straight 10th place finish, he's got some ground to make up there in the number 32.
He is a ways off of the field. He's 22 seconds off the lead. How far is he off? He's like 12 seconds off of 10th place. Yeah, he's got his work cut out for him for sure. He's going to have to get that Vspeed car rolling if he's going to be able to make up 12 seconds in 15 laps. But I've seen crazier things happen, that's for sure.
Yeah, whenever you bring a stock car to a road course, it's just a recipe for something crazy to happen. Is look at this line of cars here coming in toward the keyhole. Everything getting bottled up behind the 48 of Lucas Lyons right now. He's got quite the procession behind him here, going all the way back outside the top 10. I'm seeing Kyle Mays in 12th as the tail end of that line, but it all leads up to 5th place Lucas Lyons here. So one errant twitch going into one of these corners, you might lose out 6-7 positions.
This is where the nervous times happen. The 60 tried a really aggressive entry there, and he kind of missed the corner. I don't know if he's going to lose a spot here, if it's just going to stack him up a little bit. It's like he's able to...
Definitely.
Everything can happen in the S's, where you can defend back to the other side quickly. If that happened in the keyhole, he might be saying goodbye to that 42 car right here, but he's able to keep it pointed in the right direction and keep rolling in 6th place.
Yeah, right now, Michael Nash looking to build off of some of the earlier results he's had. He did have a 5th place finish at Michigan, but outside of that, only top 5 and only top 10 of the season here. So looking to put in another strong finish at the moment. So is the 42 of Cody Anderson, right now scoring 7th. This would be his first top 10 of the season should these results hold over the last 15 laps of this race. So a lot of drivers looking for season best days out here today. One of those being the 42 of Cody Anderson. Looking back up front, though, Blake Hensley for the first time in a couple of laps. He's got company knocking on the door. Here comes the 33 of Daniel Holder once again. And boy, I feel like we've seen these two cars battling each other like this since the drop of the green flag tonight.
Yeah, the 33 has been glued to the 31. He's probably going to have nightmares of that back bumper when he goes to sleep tonight. A lot like Kevin Harvick in a race talking about Dave Blaney's Golden Corral car. I remember that at Talladega one time. Always got to pull these random ones out of the air, right, Alex? But great racing these two have had here tonight. Just never separated, and they were, in fact, in each other's cars at one point in time going off pit road.
Yeah, they've gotten really comfortable with each other. If they reached out, they could have given each other a high five leaving pit road earlier. Those cars were inside of each other. But right now, the only way the back bumper of the 31 will haunt the nightmares of Daniel Holder is if he can't get around him in these last 15 laps. I'm sure all will be forgiven in his dreams tonight if he can get around the 31 and pick up the victory here. 14 laps to go this time by, which loosely doing the math, I'm not even going to try. I was going to say how many miles was left, but that is beyond my pay grade at the moment. 17 laps to go, or 14 laps to go. Wow, I'm just completely losing it right now. Blake Hensley over the 33 of Daniel Holder right here. That gap closing up to less than a car length here as the 33 follows him around the keyhole. Oh, almost a little bit of contact between the two coming off the exit of the corner there.
33 thought about it. He thought about giving him a little shot in the center, a little how do you do, but thought better of it. Probably the right move here with 15 to go-ish. And they live to fight another lap here.
Yeah, but all this fighting is starting to let the 30 of Alex Penn back into the picture as well. He led 14 of the opening 15 laps here, but has since been relegated back to third after the pit stop, trying to make up for lost time here, and is getting within a second right now of the 33 of Holder. If he's able to get around the 33, I like his odds about also getting around the 31, but right now he has to at least get up to this two-car battle for the lead first before he can do any sort of ideas of passing for those positions.
Here's a hypothetical for you. You think the 30's been saving his stuff, just waiting for these top two to wear their stuff out so he can creep in and get by him?
If he was a smart racer, which I do believe Alex Penn to be, I would certainly think so. He hasn't had any pressure from behind him here. Michael Kostick in fourth, nearly 4.5 seconds behind him right now. So he doesn't have to worry about anyone behind him. He can just watch what's unfolding in front of the windshield right now and react accordingly. And we've seen Holder and Hensley battle it out here for the past several laps. Alex Penn could be in really good position here, just biding his time, waiting to see how this shakes out. If these two cars will collect each other in some sort of incident, he'd be in the prime position to capitalize. If not, maybe he is just saving some of his stuff for the end of this race. But he still has plenty of time to capitalize on it. 13 laps to go here as they make their way through turns 4 and 5. Look at that beautiful shot of them rolling through the corner there, and then going back through the S's into the back end of this course. Blake Hensley's got the lead right now, but he's got two really hungry cars behind him looking to take it away.
Another shot of them rolling through the S's right there, equidistant between those three cars. There's fourth place, Mr. Kostick.
Yeah, it's incredible to think that we've got three cars within a second here really for the lead, but then there's only one other car within 13 seconds of these three guys. That's how much these front three have checked out from the rest of the field. Everything has gotten stacked up behind Lucas Lyons there in fifth. Michael Kostick's in an island, as you see on board here. This is the 42 of Anderson, who's gotten around Michael Nash, now looking to get around the 42 of Lucas Lyons. Trying to move his way up into the top 5 here is the 42 of Anderson.
Got the drones working overtime today.
Hope you packed a spare battery for those bad boys. They've been in the air since the drop of the green flag. Is looking at this like as they make their way up in there into the keyhole, you just see everyone taking a bit of a different approach through turn 2 there. Some of them really like running the apex there around the corner, hugging that curbing. Some of them take a little bit of a wider exit to be able to carry a little more speed through the corner. A lot of different differing opinions and ideas on how to settle turn 2 here. And in the grand scheme of things, it keeps bringing them right back to the same place, which is nose to tail with one another from 5th on back outside the top 10.
Yeah, this has been a pretty interesting little group here from 5th all the way back to, you could really call it like 12th, 13th, where they're just all lined up and nobody can get an inch on anyone. You see the 4 car in 13th has joined the back of this group, so he theoretically could get back up to that 5th running position just by picking cars off one by one. And 12 laps to go, so he's got enough laps to do it. But he'd have to start right now.
You certainly would. There's a couple of cars there I'm looking at. They've got top 10 streaks to keep in mind here. Jim Ott, 3 straight top 10s to start the season. He's currently 13th. The 55 of Kyle Mays also with 3 top 10s to start the season. He's currently 12th. So both of those cars, if they want to keep that streak alive, need to pick off a couple of these cars in front of them here. Starting with the 41 of Matt McMeekin, who's currently scored in 11th. McMeekin just trying to build off the momentum from that top 5 last week. After a couple of dismal races to start the season, he's up 2 positions from where he started and knocking on the door of the top 10 if he can get around Andy Kurtz.
Yeah, not a great day for the 41, but a solid day for the 41. A little farther ahead than where he started. No dings or scrapes on that car. Just some rubber marks like everyone else has, and just working through the field slowly but surely, logging these laps.
Yeah, he's having a pretty solid day though. Looking back up front, things got real close for a second there between Holder and Hensley. There was a bit of an accordion there. It's let Alex Penn properly get onto the scene here as well. You can see how close all of these cars are running with each other. You got to imagine, I wonder if the 33 is also trying to bide his time here, but can he afford to do so with the 30 now on his back bumper? Right nose to tail, all 3 of them over the final 2 corners. Coming to the flag, it'll be 10 laps to go here from Mid-Ohio. Blake Hensley running for his life right now with Daniel Holder and Alex Penn just behind him.
And these 3 have checked out on the field. We're 5 seconds ahead of the next car and Michael Kostic, who is about 11 seconds ahead of 5th place Lucas Lyons. These 3 can battle it amongst themselves so long as they keep it on the tarmac.
Yeah, and I don't think they're going to run into lap traffic here. The last car on track right now is the 54 of Todd Mays, who's 58 seconds behind this group. The pole time here was 1:28.115, so they'd still need to make up about 30 seconds to catch him, so I don't think they're going to do so. But if Mays, say, spins off course or has to take a quick ride through the dirt, you know, maybe that does come into play a little bit. And if there is lap traffic here, that could be a huge game changer for the cars in 2nd and 3rd, trying to make their way past Hensley here. Right now, though, Hensley has not really put a step wrong since he took the lead off the restart from the stage break.
This is going to be a good chance here for the 33. It's right on board. Closed right up to the back bumper, and the 31 gets a little bit loose here into the final section of this racetrack.
Nine laps to go now. Daniel Holder is right there. That he could reach out and touch the back bumper of the 31. That's how close he is right now. Coming out of turn 1, making their way up this straightaway toward the keyhole turn in turn 2. They both get on the brakes here, trying to make their way around this corner. Hensley a little bit wider. Holder looks to the inside. Not this time around, though. Hensley just able to get a little bit of that 31 in front of him to take away that passing opportunity. That being said, though, the pressure is far from over as we jump back with Alex Penn in 3rd, watching this battle unfold in front of him. Now he's going to take a deep lunge in here to try and take 2nd place away. He might be able to do so. What a dive there from the 30 of Alex Penn. Now up to 2nd place. Textbook pass there going into turn 4.
Yeah, the 33 was checked up by that little move in the center of the keyhole, and it hurt him all the way down the straightaway through the kink of turn 3, and Alex Penn was able to make a great move down into the turn 4 and 5 area and get by the 33.
Just a moment ago, it looked like the 33 of Daniel Holder was about to make a move for the lead. Now he's back to 3rd, and Alex Penn has now jumped himself into a position where he could take the lead away from Blake Hensley. Hensley, though, has been putting on a really good defensive fight against the 33 all race long. Now, can he do so against the pole sitter and Alex Penn? 8 laps to go here from Mid-Ohio. Hensley leads by a car length and a half over Penn as they make their way out of turn 1. Here they come into turn 2. Hensley dives on in. Penn, a little bit of a wider entrance, trying to get down toward that curbing in the inside of the corner. And as they make their way off, it might be a good run here for the 30. He looked like he was able to put the hammer down pretty quickly. Might be able to pull a little bit of a gap toward the 31. Now maybe looking to his inside here, trying to do the same thing on back-to-back laps. Hensley didn't give him as much room, though. They almost made contact in 4. Now Penn will have to slide on back, looking to the other side of Hensley here, coming off of turn 5 through the S's. Hensley right now fighting for his life through the back half of this course, trying to keep the 30 at bay. Alex Penn, if he was saving anything earlier, he's not anymore. He is there knocking on the door, and here comes the 33 of Holder as well. All 3 of these cars into the action here as they make their way through Thunder Valley.
Yeah, you'd have to think that the 31 is going to fight for his life right here to not let Alex Penn by him. Because if Alex Penn gets by, I have a feeling that he's going to set sail and drive away like he did in that first stage. So the 33's only move here is to drive as hard as he can and keep that 30 at bay.
Yeah, right now, if you're Daniel Holder, your best bet to try and win this race is hoping Hensley does keep checking up Alex Penn, because that at least keeps you onto the scene here. Alex Penn nearly made the pass through turn 4 a lap ago. It all started, though, by setting it up in turn 2 as you see the 33 lunge in late. Not sure if he'll be able to make any progress there. Will Alex Penn be able to line up a passing opportunity again going into turn 4? Looked like he got a pretty good run off the corner again, but he's a little farther back this time. So he's going to sit right in the tire tracks of Hensley as they go into turn 4. That gap non-existent as they make their way through the corner. The 31 did not react well under braking there. We saw it shimmy a little bit going into turn 4, so he wasn't able to get the power down. And here comes Penn to the inside. There's contact between the 2 cars up front. Hensley able to fight back and take the lead over Alex Penn. Elbows are out at this point, the gloves are off, and the boxing match is on here for the lead at Mid-Ohio. Here they come through Thunder Valley, back up toward the front stretch. Blake Hensley has been defending for his life right now since the restart from the stage break. He had to deal with 15 laps of pressure from the 33 of Daniel Holder. Holder slipped up just once in this run, and Alex Penn took advantage to take over second place. And now with 6 laps to go, every corner is a threatening opportunity right now. Alex Penn seems to be able to get the run that he needs at just about any corner of this track, and the only thing that has kept them out of the lead has been some rather tenacious defending and maybe a bit of contact between the 2 leaders.
The top 3, while they have been the fastest cars in this race, they are getting caught slowly but surely by Michael Kostick. And if they keep up this crazy battling where they're side by side and bouncing off each other, I wouldn't be surprised if that 8 car has something to say about the finish of this race. You can see him pop in the screen right here. And there's a big dive and a big block, too, for the lead.
Yeah, Hensley saw that Penn was looking way to the inside. He also went way to the inside. Certainly not an optimal way through that corner for either driver. However, the running order remains Hensley, Penn, Holder here through that top 3. Going back through the back end of this course, Alex Penn has definitely been really turning the pressure on these past couple laps. Can he find his way by right here? Going up to the final couple corners of this track. Right there, you see the gap, less than a car length between our leader and second place, less than a car length between second and third place. Daniel Holder has not gone away from these 2 either as they make their way off the final corner here. It'll be 5 laps to go from Mid-Ohio. A thrilling 3-car battle for the lead. And here comes Michael Kostick, who's gained 2 seconds over the past 2 laps. If he keeps up this rate, he'll be in the mix as well. As now Penn maybe looking to the outside of the keyhole as Hensley got a little checked up in turn 1. Side by side they go into the corner. Penn trying to keep the power down on the outside. Holder not sure which way to go. He'll dive to the inside here. They'll be side by side for second. No! Penn takes the position away once again, and he's got a great run coming off of turn 2. Could he make the move here going into turn 4? He hits one of the cones through turn 3. Now looking to the outside of Hensley, trying to dive on in. An aggressive move here from the 30. He knows this is the opportunity. Side by side through 4, more contact between the two leaders. Still side by side through turn 5. Penn's got the nose ahead, but Hensley's got the inside to this corner. Can he battle back? Almost a bit of contact, but Alex Penn finally clears Blake Hensley with 5 laps to go. What a ferocious battle between those two cars.
Yeah, you could see Hensley, I think that was going into the last of the S's. When he downshifted back into second, it jumped sideways on him, and he lost all his forward momentum, and the 30 was able to squeak to the outside. And that could be the difference right there, is just an ill-timed shift. It's crazy how close he's become. Oh, he's going around.
Oh.
Great save. Great save by the 31, but the 8 is there. It is now a 3-car battle for second place as the 30 has set sail by 1.8 seconds.
Hensley has maybe burned up some of those tires with how aggressively he's had to defend the past 20 laps. Daniel Holder right there as well, but all of this battling and then that slide from the 31 checking up Holder as well has let Michael Kostick onto the scene here. You got to remember, folks, just a week ago, the 31 and the 8 made contact with each other outside of turn 2, or coming off of turn 2 at Gateway, effectively ending both of their races, and they were both running in the top 5 at the time. Will that have any effect here between the way that Hensley and Kostick race each other in the closing laps of this if they get next to each other? Not entirely sure, but I'm sure it's present on the mind of both of these drivers, and Daniel Holder right now is stuck in the middle of it.
This has been a hornet's nest of only 3 cars, but they still cannot get away from each other. Speaking of hornet's nest, let's have a look back at 5th spot here. These two have separated themselves. Lyons has driven away from that big pack, but if we look back a little farther, the 4 car has worked his way up to P8. So that top 10 streak looks like it may carry on for Mr. Ott here tonight. Just wanted to have a look back at the back half of the top 10. And they have spread apart a fair bit from where they were when they were lined up from 5th through 12th.
Yeah, it looks like Matt McMeekin's also made some good progress forward. Last time we saw him, he was 11th, now up into the 7th position here as the 41. So a nice, slow, steady charge to the heart of the top 10 here. As now Daniel Holder gets around Blake Hensley for second. Michael Kostick on the back bumper of Hensley. He's going to look to the inside, going into the keyhole. Here we go. Hensley will hold serve for the moment in third. Michael Kostick, though, right on his back bumper. All that battling between Holder and Hensley has definitely let Alex Penn get away from the 33. It might be his race to lose at this point, but the battle for third is still fiercely on here, as now maybe Kostick might look to the inside of turn 4. He elects against it, slides back in behind Hensley with 3 laps to go here. You got to imagine the wheels are turning inside the mind of Michael Kostick right now, thinking about what he's going to do to take away third place.
We got a couple other battles around the track here. The 4 car just got around McMeekin. And I believe Cunningham just passed. We got a 3-car battle here. I think Cunningham just got by Ray and is working on Mr. Mace at the moment. They both get by the 55.
Yeah, the 55 was running 12th, now dialed back to 14th here as Ray and Cunningham go on by. So not the best day there for the 55. He's just trying to finish this race out. Meanwhile, Daniel Cunningham, we've seen him in the back half of the top 10 most of the day, so he's looking to see if he can gain a couple more positions here to get back to where we've seen him run most of the evening. But 2 laps to go here as they run this battle a little farther up. This is Lucas Lyons and Cody Anderson, a very fierce battle for 5th right now. Some critical points in the standings at risk with 2 laps to go.
Who doesn't want a top 5, right? This is a lot of bragging rights, a lot of pride to grab a top 5 on a road course, especially if you're not a road course ringer. To just say that I can do it, I can do this, and go out there and get it. So 48's going to fight really hard for this, and the 42 wants it pretty bad.
He certainly does, and he'll have 2 laps to figure it out here. Speaking of having 2 laps to figure it out, Michael Kostick is on the back bumper of Blake Hensley. Now side-by-side contact between the 2 drivers. Hensley has bounced off of each car in the top 4 right now. He is fighting for his life out there, trying to hold on to what's left of that car. Kostick's got the nose ahead. Hensley had the inside line. Huge slide out of the corner. They remain side-by-side going into Thunder Valley. They are bouncing off each other like pinballs right now. Going into the final 3 corners, can Kostick finally clear the 31? Might just be able to do so. Hensley trying to fight back here on the inside. What a dive! Trying to get the nose to the inside here of Kostick. What a battle for 3rd. Kostick, though, finally going to clear him and pull away here on the final lap of this. Blake Hensley had some incredible battles with each of our top 3 drivers so far tonight. He might still get some pretty good points for P4, but you know he's got to be a little frustrated with how much he's had to defend tonight and how much it just hasn't worked out in the end.
Yeah, he's led 18 laps. I think that's the 2nd most tonight behind our current leader, Alex Penn. But he drove a great race. He did his best out here. He just burned the tires off defending a little bit. And I'm surprised they're all able to make it to the finish on fuel, to be totally honest with you. But
yeah, really.
I guess don't say it yet. We're not quite done this final lap.
Yeah, there is still over a mile to go here. Alex Penn, a comfortable 2-second lead over Daniel Holder. And you can see the gap there. It's about a corner distance there between the 30 and the 33. But coming around the back end of the course for the final time, into Thunder Valley we go. Alex Penn was your pole sitter here tonight, led 14 of the opening 15 laps, got stuck back in 3rd due to the pit cycle, and had to fiercely battle his way on back, able to get it done with 5 laps to go. And as they, oh wait, a big slide there might open the door for Holder. Wow, the 30 was sideways on the 2nd to last corner, but he will hold on to win here at Mid-Ohio here today. A little maybe more dicey than he was hoping.
And that probably wasn't what he wanted, to have a 4-wheel slide. He was about 6 inches from sliding off the back of the last corner and handing this win on a silver platter to the 33. But he got it done. Great win, Alex Penn. Led 20 laps, led half this race, and there's one in the books.
Yeah, 4th different winner so far this season in the Overtake iRacing League Xfinity Series. 4 straight weeks of genuinely incredible racing up front here live on Vspeed. What a race. And honestly, I feel like I'm saying that every week, but every week they continue to put on a show here in the OiL Xfinity Series.
Yeah, this has been some pretty incredible stuff. Here's your podium finishers on your screen right now. Great racing by those 4.
Yeah, really a nice little tap there between the 33 and the 30, acknowledging each other for the battle that was out there. Blake Hensley, man, I mean, I know he finished 4th and he won't be on the podium here tonight, but his first really deserved finish of the season after 3 straight weeks of having something happen at the last minute. His first top 5 of the season, and could have been more if he just wasn't under constant assault the entire second half of this race.
Yeah, it was a tough break because he led that 18 of those last 20-some laps and got past with a few to go and just didn't quite go his way at the end there. But I think it's time to pay some bills here, go to a quick commercial break, and we'll be back here live on Vspeed, Mid-Ohio.
And when we come back, it'll be the interviews with our podium finishers, so don't go anywhere.
And here comes Milo, big run out of 4. He's going to be there.
Tristan Martin's there. Cannot count out to 37.
Oh!
No, gets burned!
Cabot, where did he come from? Here comes Dweck.
A punch from the 33.
It's a drag race.
The Magic Man wins it Auto Club.
isn't a one-size-fits-all for almost anything in life. So don't settle for a one-size-fits-all setup. Eliminate the frustration in building with an AI-powered personalized toolkit to boost you forward to victory. Optimize your setup and improve your performance over those cookie-cutter builds used by the rest of the pack. Vantage is iRacing.com's first AI setup builder. Save your time and give back to your personal life. Vantage takes any setup for any track and adjusts it specifically to your needs. Choose from over 100 cars for any paved circuit, a custom-tailored experience that's easy to understand and tested to fit any driver's style. Subscriptions as low as $8.50 per month. And for a limited time, new members get a 7-day free trial with unlimited access to all Vantage has to offer. Let Vspeed Vantage free you of the endless loop of testing and get you back on track to victory lane. Visit orangespeedvantage.ai to get started.
Welcome back, everybody. It has been a thrilling race here from the Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course. An unbelievable finish, 4 straight weeks of stellar races here in the Overtake iRacing League Xfinity Series. Time to take a quick look at our finishing results here. Only the one caution for the stage break. Alex Penn put it on pole, fell back, came back forward to win the race here tonight over the 33 of Brandon Holder, who I'm just realizing now is named Brandon. Sincere apologies for that. Michael Kostick, Blake Hensley, and Lucas Lyons, your top 5. And then the back half of the top 10 here, the 42 of Cody Anderson. Jim Otten, 7th, Matt McMeekin, 8th, Michael Nash in 9th, and Andy Kurtz in the number 5, finishing 10th.
Coming home 11th is an 08 of Daniel Cunningham, pretty close to where he started. Kyle Mace in the 55 is going to come home in 12th. Had Ray finish 13th in that 38 car. Iverson, who had a sideways slide, but he got it back going the right direction. He finished in the 14th position. 15th was the 15th car, who I screwed up his name the first time. Grenier. I'm going to go with that this time. Hall Jr. going to come home in 16th position. Wiegand in 17th. Brett Bieber, that top 10 streak, that 10th place streak, in fact, is going to come to an end tonight as he finishes 18th. Prohl's going to come home in 19th, and Schroeder in 20th.
And then Todd Mays brings it home in 21st tonight, and Roberts will bring it home in 22nd there, 38 laps down. He had some issues early. But that is our final results here tonight, which means it's time to talk to our podium finishers here first. Morgan, who do we want to start with here tonight?
Let's start with the 8 car, Michael Kostick.
All right, so we will be talking here to the 3rd place finisher here tonight, the number 8 car of Michael Kostick, who really kind of burst onto the scene late in the closing laps there. Michael, take us through your race and what you were seeing in those final couple laps.
Yeah, I mean, I was just saving fuel there for a little bit because I knew it was going to be close, and then once I seen I got enough, I was able to just kind of get the power down pretty decent from just naturally saving tires with the fuel saving. So it helped a little bit that they were battling up there, but Penn was fast. All 3 of them guys were quick up there, so it was going to be tough to try to get anything better than a 3rd.
Well, a podium finish is still a pretty solid result, and a forward placing finish from where you started there in 4th. Yeah, I know you were saying that it was a bit of a stretch on fuel there. How long were you concerned about trying to make it on fuel before you realized you were going to be good to go through the end of the race?
Once I got to about 6 to go, I seen I was about a lap and a half to the good, so I was able to start pushing it a little bit. But yeah, for a while there, I was saving, and I didn't see the lap counter increase, and I'm like, man, I don't know what else I can do. But yeah, it started to add on there. So yeah, once I got to about 5 or 6 to go, I was able to push and have a little bit of fun there at the end.
It was certainly fun to watch there. You had quite the battle there with the 31 of Hensley for 3rd in the closing laps. But taking a look now just at your recent finishes here, 2nd top 5 of the season, counting your win a couple weeks ago at Michigan. Do you consider yourself a bit of a road course driver? Was this a result you were expecting to see tonight, or was this more of a pleasant surprise?
I feel I'm decent at it. There's definitely a lot of room for improvement, but yeah, I feel I can run pretty consistently and put together a good chain of lap times and kind of keep the car clean. So I think it works to my advantage.
Well, it certainly seemed to pay off tonight with the third place finish. Last question for you. Anyone you'd like to thank or shout out here before we let you go on your way here this evening?
Yeah, of course. Thank you guys at Vspeed for doing the broadcast. It's always fun to go back and watch it. Alex, Dave, and everybody else who puts all the work in for the league. It's fun coming out here every week and racing with all these guys, and then my teammates at Bandits and C2 Motorsports.
Well, congratulations on the podium there, Michael. Solid finish here tonight, and we hope to see you again in the booth real soon.
Thank you.
And that was our third place finisher here, Michael Kostick, who fuel saved most of that back half of the stint, but then when he was finally able to really put the throttle down, was really able to make up a lot of time and ended up gaining several positions in those closing laps. Now it's time to talk to our second place finisher here this evening in Brandon Holder.
Yeah,
Congrats on the podium there. Oh, sorry, go
sorry
ahead.
about
Yeah.
that. Someone I don't think was fuel saving tonight. Brandon Holder comes home in P2 tonight. What did you see out there as you were chasing down that 31 and then the 30 at the end?
Well, the 31 was sideways more than he was straight. He did a hell of a job holding on to it. I really wasn't short on fuel. I don't know what I did different, but I was pretty good on fuel.
Right on. Well, you led 2 laps tonight, and you won the race off pit road. That was a really impressive drive through the grass, through the cone. I'm glad you didn't get a penalty there. That would have really set your race back here. But what did you need differently? You were behind the 31 for a lot of that first stint. You were behind the 30 for a lot of the second stint. What did you need a little bit more to get around those 2 cars and get this win for yourself?
Well, I mean, I'm racing down the series, so I want the guys' respect. I don't want to come down here and beat them around. So, had it been a cup race, I might have, used the bumper a little bit more, but I was just trying to make sure that I didn't get into any issues with them. They were both fast and they're running for points. So, um,
All right. Well, it was glad to see you down here. So you call yourself a road course ringer, or was this an unexpected result for you tonight, the second place?
I really enjoy this track. I mean, I'm definitely not a road course racer. You'll see that tomorrow at the Roval, but um, for some reason, I just really like this track and this car. Honestly, I like this car more than I like the Cup car, but iRating restrictions won't let me run it. So anyway, it was fun. It was fun to come down and run with the guys. Everybody, very respectful and clean. So, I appreciate them letting me run with them.
Yeah, awesome. It was good to have you down here. You gave a great effort up at the front. You were always in the frame when we were showing the leader. So congratulations on that. Who do you want to shout out and thank for this effort tonight?
Well, I got to thank James Silvers for asking me to drive the car tonight. Cornerstone, everybody at Cornerstone. That, like I said, it was a great points night for them tonight. Aerial Pros of Western North Carolina, Function Junction Smoke Shop, and GG's of Waynesville, Mountain View Detailing, and Waynesville Tire. And also, I got to shout out BK Paints. He usually supplies my paints on the cars. So, and also, I got to say that the broadcast that y'all do is outstanding. Y'all do a hell of a job.
Well, we love to hear that. Thanks a bunch for that. All right, Alex, anything else you got here for our second place finisher?
I would simply like to issue a formal apology to you there, Brandon. I was told ahead of the race that your name was Daniel, so during the race you'll hear Brandon Holder on occasion. So I would like to formally apologize for that, and I have made the adjustment in my notes so that won't happen again moving forward. But I just wanted to give you the heads up. Now, if you watch it back, you'll be like, "Who in the hell is this this Daniel guy?"
Hey, no worries, brother.
But either way, you put on a hell of a show tonight, and congrats on the podium.
Thank you, sir.
All right, and that was our second place finisher here tonight in Brandon Holder. Not Daniel Holder, most notably. But a strong finish nonetheless here for the driver, the 33, doing a little bit of a fill-in duty tonight for James Silver, and it worked out really well for him. And that's going to bring us to our final driver here tonight. Our winner of this race from Mid-Ohio, our pole sitter in the 30, Alex Penn. Alex, congrats on the victory. Man, did you have to fight to win that one?
Yeah, thank you. I was kind of going into this race expecting maybe like uh, to win by less than less than I usually do on a road course. I did not expect to fight as hard as I had to, and man, that was a blast.
It was a ton of fun to watch up here. I highly recommend going back and watching it at some point when you get the chance. You guys were throwing haymakers out there. I thought it was about to turn into a boxing fight before long. And those closing couple laps when you were in third, slowly working your way up to Holder and Hensley, were you kind of saving your stuff to make a charge at the end, or were you just running your race and eventually it came to you?
You know, with Brandon, I was just kind of watching him being a little bit stuck behind Blake, as Blake was wearing out his tires, and was kind of looking for an opportunity. Eventually, found one going into that right-hander after the back straight, and with Blake, I noticed that as he was wearing out his tires, he was running them a bit harder, especially his rears. I could go a lot later into the corners as he could, and just kind of use that to my advantage. Kind of poked around a couple of times to finally try and find a gap to get around him.
And you found the gap indeed. It was quite the fight with a few laps to go there. Honestly, it was one crazy battle. And I'm looking at your last couple finishes here. 4 races so far this season. You've gone from 12th to 9th to 5th to 1st. So each race has been an improvement for you of a couple of positions. Do we expect a repeat performance next week, or was the road course here a special situation, or will Iowa be the two-peat there for the 30 car?
You know, I have no idea because last time I ran Iowa and with Cornerstone, we ended up picking up the win after having to fight a different Cornerstone Cup driver that ended up racing down. But that mostly came down to strategy, so we'll have to see how it works out for us next week.
Well, certainly wishing you the best of luck there and congratulating you on your victory here. Last question for you. Anyone you'd like to thank or shout out here before we let you go celebrate your victory this evening?
Yeah, it's gonna be a little bit redundant since Brandon and I were reading off of the same list. It's gonna be aerial professionals of Western North Carolina, Function Junction Smoke Shop, GG's of Waynesville, North Carolina, Mountain View Detailing, Waynesville Tire, Skip Arbor Racing School on the car tonight. They taught me how to how to run these road courses. Team Cornerstone, you guys for putting on the broadcast, and Dave and Alex for putting on the league for us.
Well, congratulations on your victory there, Alex. It was hard fought and well earned. Enjoy the celebration that comes with it here tonight, and we hope to see you back in the booth real soon.
Thank you.
And that was Alex Penn, our race winner here tonight from the Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course, leading 20 of the 40 laps here, but having to make a last couple lap pass in order to pick up the victory. And then it was not even settled until the final corner when the 30, I should have asked him about that, when that car was 4 wheels sideways in the second to last corner. I wonder if that's a moment where you clench up real quick and go, uh-oh, did I just throw this away?
I've definitely been there, had that situation before where I just got a position and threw it away right after, but did a much better job than I usually do, keeping it on the track and driving home to get the W. Congratulations, Alex Penn, tonight.
Indeed, and with that, that is just about going to do our coverage or finish our coverage here of the OiL Xfinity Series live on Vspeed. Morgan, any final thoughts here this evening from the race we just witnessed?
What an effort by everyone out here tonight. This was a clean and green race other than that stage break, of course. We saw very few cars off track. We saw very few cars with damage. Just a lot of really close, hard racing. And that's what we come to expect here in the OiL Xfinity Series.
Yeah, 4 straight weeks of not only good racecraft, but stellar finishes has hallmarked the opening of this season. Next week, the OiL Xfinity Series will be heading to the nice good old cornfields of Iowa for the Iowa Speedway race. 100 laps around that mile and a third racetrack with the stage break coming in at lap 35, as you can see on your screen there. and it'll start a stint of several straight oval races. The next road course won't be till the end of March there at Watkins Glen. So Iowa and then Indy in a few weeks' time after that break there between Iowa and Indianapolis. But if you cannot wait for more Overtake iRacing League action, the Cup Series for the OiL is in action next week. Or not next week, tomorrow night, sorry. They're also involved next week, but tomorrow night, 9 p.m., the OiL Cup Series will be in action, and then the trucks for the OiL Series run on Mondays. So plenty of Overtake iRacing League action to be had. Plenty more action to be had here on Vspeed. This channel's basically streaming almost every night of the week, bringing you more iRacing content than you could ever know what to do with. But for everyone here at Vspeed and for the Overtake iRacing League, alongside Morgan Cook this evening, I've been Alex Gagnon, and we will catch you next time for the next Overtake iRacing League Series race.
And here comes Milo. Big run out of 4. He's going to be there.
Tristan Martin's there. Cannot count out to 37.
Oh!
The wheel gets burned!
Cabot, where did he come from? Here comes
Slack.
Slack.
A punch from the 33.
It's a drag race.
The Magic Man wins it at Auto Club.
There isn't a one-size-fits-all for almost anything in life. So don't settle for a one-size-fits-all setup. Eliminate the frustration in building with an AI-powered personalized toolkit to boost you forward to victory. Optimize your setup and improve your performance over those cookie-cutter builds used by the rest of the pack. Vantage is iRacing.com's first AI setup builder. Save your time and give back to your personal life. Vantage takes any setup for any track and adjusts it specifically to your needs. Choose from over 100 cars for any paved circuit, a custom-tailored experience that's easy to understand and tested to fit any driver style. Subscriptions as low as $8.50 per month. And for a limited time, new members get a 7-day free trial with unlimited access to all Vantage has to offer. Let Vspeed Vantage free you of the endless loop of testing and get you back on track to victory lane. Visit Vspeed Vantage.